What's up, guys? Okay, I'm going to talk about coaching. So I've been coaching about 20 years now. Gosh, I started when I was 18. When I started competing, I started helping my friends out for free, just for fun. Then I had a niche for it. I was really, really good at it, and actually, all my friends like pushed me into doing it. And I started coaching for a living at age 20. So it's been almost 20 years I've been doing it. So I've made it a full time career. And I coach, normal people, athletes, bodybuilders. Of course, people always knew me, my niche as, doing competitors, but I've always had at least 50% of my clients just normal people trying to get in shape, whether it be weight loss, gain muscle, get ripped for the summer, for a vacation, get ready for a wedding. I mean, because that's what I went to school for also, to be a dietitian. So people always think I just do just only bodybuilders or something like that, and that's the furthest from the truth. Especially now, because over the years, it's been bodybuilding has changed so much, and I'll call them super supplements. The super supplements that bodybuilders take have been faked more and more over the years, and now it's I would hate to be competing right now because it's hard to find legit quality, dosed right, super subs. So when I'm prepping somebody, you know um, I do, of course, I do not get their stuff for them. That I'm a coach, I am not a dealer. If a coach is doing that, they are not a real coach. They are a dealer and probably making their money from that, not actually coaching. So the problem is clients finding, what they need to find. And unfortunately, in bodybuilding, the stuff is you just can't go to the store and get it. That's what's sad. You can go get alcohol, you can go get cigarettes, but hormones that improve your quality of life, you can't go get, right? So when someone hires me, there's so many different compounds you use for a show. The less compounds for women, and then the more, of course, when you get to the open men. Some people are using 3 compounds, 5 compounds. When you get to the open bodybuilder men, 15 compounds, and they all do different things. And certain things block other things that block other. They kind of work all kind of together. And when someone hires you, this is the difference between working with an advanced person and a beginner. And I work with a lot of beginners because, the more advanced people now at that level, I'm not a fan of putting them on that much stuff. I still prep some, big boys, big pros, 300-pound plus, but I'm not going to put their health in jeopardy. All my clients stay healthy. We keep them healthy, and that's the main priority, is to stay healthy. What is the point of being big and muscular when your health's bad and your quality of life is going to, not be good eventually? That makes literally no sense to me at all. So when it comes to the beginners and you're telling them what to take, they really have no idea what all this stuff is. And, a lot of them freak out. Some don't care. They're just like, just tell me what to take. And a lot of them want to learn what they're taking, right? But as a coach, it's not our job we're not teaching a class about compounds and what they do, and you know what I mean? So when I prep clients, I write out their, of course, their nutrition, their training, their supplements, and their super supplements. And I'll give them the gist of like, hey, this, does A, B, and C, or this compound does this. But some of them, Google stuff because they want to see what it's about. And they're like, oh my gosh, I read that, I'm just making up something. DECA can do this, and I'm scared, and should I take her or not, and blah blah blah. And that's a big problem. I always tell people, go Google side effects of vitamin C. Okay, everybody knows vitamin C. Most people take vitamin C. Go Google the side effects of vitamin C, and what pulls up, you will think you're taking some crazy drug out there. There's a lot of crazy side effects that pull up. So just because it says that's a side effect or can be a side effect does not mean it's going to happen, and that's only in a small amount. Of course, everything you take does have side effects. Some of them are permanent if you do it wrong. Most of them, you can minimize the side effects, and when you get off, everything goes back to normal. And that's what, I do with my clients, especially with the females. You don't want to stay on certain ones too long, or your voice can change, your face can change, and that's really important with females because I coach just as many females as I do males, and there's a lot of coaches out there that do not know how to coach females, but they'll just take their money anyways and tell them to do all this stuff, and next thing they know, they're trusting their coach, then they look very very masculine. So what I'm really getting at is when I tell a client what they need to do, it's not my job to teach them a class on what every compound does, break down the science of it. I would be having to charge 5 times what I do, because that would be literally like teaching a class on all this stuff. And when you hire a coach, they're supposed to coach you and guide you and tell you what to take, and you kind of teach somebody, but I'm really not their teacher in trying to tell them exactly what these compounds do. I always say, look things up, do your own research, right? But then some people will come back like, oh my gosh, I just read that it's going to do this to me. I'm like, no, it just has to say that. It can if you do it wrong. So it's a really fine line when you're prepping people. And, when you hire a coach, you need to really trust that coach 100%. And the biggest difference that I've seen over my 20 years of coaching, especially in the past 10 years, is people not trusting their coaches. And my gosh, especially on the pro level, these competitors, they coach hop nonstop. They'll hire a coach, next year a different coach, a different coach, a different coach. Your coach needs to figure out your body. Everybody's bodies are so different, and you need to give that coach enough time, at least give them 2 years to figure out your body, how it reacts to certain foods, to training and all that. Somebody hires a coach, they might not look how they want to, they go hire another coach, and they're never giving that coach enough time to figure out their body. And it's really bad on the pro level today. It's just every single season, people have a different coach. Like, oh, they're with this person now, they're with this person now. And then they never look right because they're constantly switching people. And I agree, you can have 5 great coaches and they can get that client all to the same looking shape on stage, but different ways. We all have our different ways of doing things. It doesn't mean something's right or wrong. A lot of the times it just means that it's different. So when you're looking for a coach, make sure you trust them, because they are telling you what to do with your body, and it can be extremely dangerous if they're telling you to do things wrong. There's a specific coach that, 7 girls has passed away from his telling them to do extreme diuretic use. And in the industry, we all know who that is. And it can get very, very dangerous. And that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to improve our lives, compete, stay healthy, and you can do all that and do it the right way. Once you get to the top professional level, that's a different story. Once you get there, you're kind of playing a game and you're taking some serious years off your life with the amount of growth hormone and other compounds they're using. My clients, I don't push them that way. The health is the number one. But going back to it, you cannot expect a coach to explain every single compound, what it does to the T. That would take so much time, and that would be like teaching a whole separate course, okay? So do your own research and trust that coach. And you can ask little question, of course. Hey, what does this do? Oh, it's a hardener. You might, you might get a little, hair loss here, but it will come back after the show or whatever. But they cannot teach you, and they don't have the time to teach you, the whole, exactly what it does. And no top coach does that. You might find some lower level coaches that will try to do that just because they're trying to get clients. But that's what I'm trying to let people know out there when hiring a coach and what to look for, because now everybody's a coach, right? Used to, when I would start, there was literally 5 of us in the whole Dallas area that coached. Now, literally everybody is a coach, and it says a coach in the bio. It is out of control, and 99% of people should not even be coaching. All right, guys.